One Fight Night 7, Lineker vs. Andrade 2 just occurred, and now it's time for me to break down every fight, starting the lead card up until the main event. The first fight on the card was a strawweight contest between Adrian Mathis and Zilong Zaxi. The fight didn't last very long. Adrian Mathis just completely blitzed and Zaxi not letting him get any work done. Mathis was able to unload with some powerful combinations and get a knockout in the very first round. Very impressive performance from Mathis. He had a nice comeback from last year against his loss to Silva. The lightweight submission grappling division, Kirchhoff took on Tommy Lineker. The fight started out with a lot of jostling on the feet. Lineker dropped to his guard a few times trying to get Kirchhoff to engage. Eventually, Tommy just kept going after the legs, trying to get a heel hook in. There were some nice scrambles on the ground. Kirchhoff even went for his own heel hook of his own. Both guys got a good position on the other for a nice knee bar. Lineker was able to lock it in fully, however, and after a few seconds of trying to scramble out of it, Kirchhoff had to tap out. Exceptional performance from Tommy. He was pushing off the lead card was an atomweight contest between Victoria Souza and Linda Darrow. The fight started out on the feet in a feeling out process. Darrow was getting the better of Souza when it came to striking due to her boxing ability. Souza was being a little short for most of her kicks, attempting some takedowns. The first couple got stuffed, but eventually she was able to trip out Souza and get some good ground control time. She threatened with some submissions, none of them were too deep, and she was able to get some decent ground and pound in as well. The fight ended with Darrow. The first round ended with Darrow being able to get back up from the position and ended in a neutral clinch. The second round was a lot slower. Both women were pretty much just hitting air for the most part until Dean warned them for action. There was a little bit more after that. It was pretty much just Linda Darrow slightly outstriking Victoria Souza on the feet with her boxing. Souza wasn't really even setting up her kicks that well, just trying to take her down. The third round was basically just like the first one. Darrow was doing some decent work on the feet, but Souza was able to get a takedown in the middle stages. The judges gave the nod to Victoria Souza. I agree with the decision. Darrow just wasn't doing a whole lot of damage on the feet to overcome what Souza was doing on the ground. Neither woman looked great here. It was a pretty slow fight, especially considering the previous two had gone to a pretty quick finish. There was a light heavyweight kickboxing contest between Francisco Zaya and Andreas Stoica. Zaya put on the performance of a lifetime. He was very quick out there, moved a lot. He debilitated Stoica with his jab, worked the body very well with his kicks there, even included some knees. Stoica was having a very difficult time countering him. He made some decent adjustments in the second round by pressuring Zaya more, and he was able to work the body and have a little bit more success. Still thought Zaya won that round. In the third, Zaya just came out very aggressive, definitively won the fight. Fantastic performance from him. I think that he's an excellent addition to the one light heavyweight roster. He won the fight via a decision. One of the judges scored for Stoica, which is completely baffling. I mean, the commentators just laughed it off, but the fact that this is consistently happening, where you have these crappy judges scoring the fight improperly, it's just something that needs to be fixed in one championship. Either way, Zaya put on a very impressive performance. I can't wait to see what's next for him. Talking about the catchweight women's grappling contest between Aoki Miura and Danielle Kelly, I have to say I was very impressed by Miura's performance here. I did not give her much of a chance, but she actually put Danielle Kelly in some compromising positions, almost getting her in the Miura lock. She was very strong out there. You could tell that Kelly had problems with just the pure strength that Miura possessed. She scrambled well with Kelly. I even believe that Miura was probably going to win the fight in the last 2 minutes if Kelly didn't do something drastic. Kelly did a great job of scrambling as well, taking her back quite a few times, and in the last 2 minutes got the most dominant position, almost getting a face crank in on Miura. But Kelly was unable to finish her, so Kelly got a unanimous decision here. It's worth noting that Kelly was being kind of dirty in the jiu-jitsu exchanges, kind of just raking Miura's face. Regardless, an impressive performance by both ladies. Danny Kingad took on Iko Ronisaputra. The best way to describe it would be power versus technique. Iko Ronisaputra had all the power in the world, but Danny Kingad made up for it by having a very good technique. Danny Kingad was able to out-scramble Saputra for the most part during this fight. Saputra was only really able to outpower, with Kingad being able to get in full mount and even take the back of Saputra at multiple occasions. Saputra was able to use explosions to get out of those positions. However, it was on the feet. Iko didn't have anything for Kingad. He was basically just looping shots, none of which were able to land. Kingad was piecing him up. By Danny Kingad, I'll tell you this is going to be the last time in a while I'm going to be doubting Danny Kingad. There was bantamweight kickboxing between Sampek Fairtex and Zhang Qinglong. In the beginning of the contest, Sampek, you could tell, was uncomfortable in the kickboxing rules. He was a little tentative, Zhang was able to have some success in the boxing and able to push back Sampic a little. As the fight progressed, Sampic made the proper adjustments. He was able to time his kicks better and counter Zhang properly. I think that Sampic's head movement was very excellent in this fight. He was able to accurately defend against most of the shots that Zhang was able to provide for him. Sampic won a unanimous decision, though I would like to see Sampic go back into Muay Thai after this because he did not look very comfortable out there. Martin Nguyen took on Leandro Casati. Nguyen looked brilliant out there. He was a lot more patient and tentative than we saw before. He wasn't as reckless in his last performances. He utilized his leg kicks very well. He worked the body exceptionally. He was even able to land a few nice hooks and overhands. Casati had a very good chin. He also had some good kicks in there. He was able to get Martin's attention, keep him honest in there. And Martin got enough to get the decision victory. Good for Martin. It's good to see him back. This is his best performance that he's had in a while. I can't wait to see what he does next. The co-main event, Tawanchai versus Jamal Yusupov for the featherweight Muay Thai title. This fight didn't last very long. Tawanchai basically just push-kicked Jamal Yusupov away. I would actually be surprised if Jamal Yusupov even landed a strike in this fight because all Tawanchai needed was a few leg kicks and then Jamal Yusupov's leg gave out. Tawanchai got the victory in less than 60 seconds. Incredible performance for Tawanchai to get his first title defense against such a dangerous opponent like Jamal Yusupov. Tawanchai has a lot of potential and he's still only 23 years old. Hopefully we can see him back very soon. Finally, Andrade took on Lineker in the main event for the rematch for the one bantamweight title. This fight was a lot closer than the first one. Lineker was able to have some success with his leg kicks. He emphasized grappling very early on, worked the body a lot more, and was able to land some more hooks in there. But overall, Andrade was still the more dominant fighter. His jabs were working very efficiently. He hurt Lineker and almost finished him in the first round. By the fourth round, he was basically just teeing off on him. And by the end of the fourth, Lineker's corner mercifully stopped the fight, and I did agree that they probably should have prevented Lineker from getting more damage. It was the right call to make. So Andrade is the new one bantamweight champion of the world. He deserves it. I'm happy for. Overall, I'll give this card a C. Even though it had some good fights on there, I do think there was a decent lull in the mid portion of it. A lot of decisions here, and even the title fights to me, especially the featherweight Muay Thai, did let me down a little bit, just because of how little and how quickly it was over. The fight on the card I thought was the best was the women's atomweight, was the women's grappling contest. I thought it was very back and forth and competitive, and a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Performance of the night probably goes to Fabricio Andrade. He was able to definitively beat Lineker this time, to the point where the corner had to throw in the towel. Good for Andrade. So that's all, guys. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing. This is Shower TV Productions, and I'm out.